Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us at this press conference, which I'm delighted to chair with Signes Saito of the European Commission. I'm Guylain Dope. I'm Director General at the Foreign Ministry, dealing with multilateral affairs, with multilateral principles and values. I'm standing in for State Secretary Dermin, who has asked me to host this press conference. But although I'm not a scientist nor a science civil servant, I think I have a certain legitimacy of being here because, as I said, my daily life as a multilateral DG is about multilateral principles and values. And it is one of the key elements of the ministerial meeting that has just taken place and has been finalized by the Brussels statement, which I'm sure you have all read in great detail. So together with the European Commission, we are here to give you some key elements of the proceedings of the last 2 days and to give you also maybe some background on the how and the why. The how and the why, we can actually start by looking at this folder, because two key principles of what has brought us together are also at the very core of the Belgian EU presidency: a global approach and stronger together. Global approach, this Brussels statement, has been endorsed by close to 60 member states, by, of course, the European Union and the European Commission itself, co-driver of this event, by UNESCO, by the OECD, by the International Scientific Council. So when we say global approach, as a slogan of the Belgian presidency, but also as a key driver of this meeting, this is not just a slogan, it is part of the core purpose of why ministers have been meeting here yesterday and today. It is extremely important for us as a Belgian presidency, and I take it also for the Commission, that we widen the dialogue, we widen the cooperation beyond the EU27, that we set up practical, but also principle and value-driven cooperation with key players outside the EU. The EU is a key player, we all know that. Within the EU, Belgium is a key player. I think that is also important to state. But it is the clear determination of this Belgian government and of State Secretary Dermin and of the Belgian presidency to seek partners on key issues for the well-being, the prosperity, and the future of our citizens and of our societies. And that, I think, is the first point I also wanted to make. So, research, technology, and innovation are key drivers of our prosperity and of the well-being of our citizens. For us as a country, but for the EU as well, building on a diversity of knowledge, diversity of culture, bringing talents together, supporting and promoting and stimulating people, young people, also not so young people like me, to join forces and to bring their talents to support research and innovation on the basis of established norm-based principles and values are a key way to find innovative and sustainable solutions to major challenges. The challenges are major, we all know that, don't need to go into that. Belgians are not known to be very proud people. We're not very good at selling ourselves, but we are strong, we are diverse. But in research and innovation, we have a lot of very strong players. We also have a federal government, but also regional governments who are really keen both within the EU framework and also bilaterally and outside the EU, to strengthen cooperation on research and innovation. We have a lot to offer, be it in biotechnology, space, health, new industries, even AI. And part of that strength we have, strength in our companies, in our universities, and also in the drive that we have at the level of our administrations, is why we decided in the framework of the Belgian EU presidency to launch and to support this event. Another key point, important for Belgium, but also strongly supported by the EU, is openness. There is no proper research, there is no proper innovation without open exchanges. Of course, there's intellectual property. Of course, there is the need to protect your strengths and your talents. But there is no proper research without open cooperation. So that is another point where, again, as Belgium, as a country, but again, with the EU, we are so keen to bring this forward. The second slogan is, apart from global approach, is stronger together. And that is where this combination, which the European Commission launched in 2022, the global approach to R&I, is of course supplemented by an international cooperation strategy. And I will leave it to the Commission to go into much more detail on that, and indeed also in much more detail about the Brussels statement. But this process was launched in 2022, a multilateral dialogue on principles and values, as you can see. We wanted to bring together, and we have brought together yesterday and today, key international and EU players and interest groups. We align fully with Europe in advocating stronger global cooperation based on this openness, but also balanced with fairness and with security. These are key principles which have driven yesterday and today's meeting. Another key driver in reaching out beyond the EU is the principle of solidarity, principle of equity, especially and in particular for partnerships with low and middle income countries. Again, another key driver for Belgian foreign policy and outreach. We really believe, together with the EU, that a common ground for responsible research and innovation cooperation is absolutely necessary in the interest of research itself, but also, most importantly, for our citizens and our societies. This multilateral dialogue, which we've just had, which we're concluding, has consisted of a series of workshops, mainly online, workshops on principles and values, such as, and you will find them, of course, all in the text, academic freedom, ethics, integrity, gender equality, inclusiveness, open science, research excellence, knowledge valorization, research security, equitable partnerships, as I just said, with low and middle income countries. We have exchanged views on and experiences on similarities, on the approaches the various countries have on bringing together cooperation based on these principles and values. And we now aim, based on this Brussels meeting and this ministerial statement, to set up a framework for a common conduct for responsible research and innovation cooperation in the future. Those are the key points that I wanted to bring about. Again, it has appeared during this meeting not only that the member states present, and of course the European institutions present, have endorsed these principles, the Brussels statement, but we also have a clear endorsement from OECD and UNESCO. The OECD Deputy Secretary General was here and attended the meeting. And in conclusion, I would like to say that, and Mr. Dermien said it in concluding the formal session, that this Brussels statement is a roadmap and a compass. It is a compass for our future, what we call cooperation culture. almost a reflex of doing things together. I was tempted to say Pavlovian, but I must be careful. But certainly a cooperation culture, and which means that we now must act. We have a roadmap for action. And I think I will leave it there and hand over to our very esteemed colleague at the European Commission, who have not just been an ally, but also a key driver in making this a success. Thank you.
Well, many thanks to Ambassador Top. Well, I think you've already covered the ground a lot about the process so far and also ahead of us. I'm happy to step in for Commissioner Ivanova this press conference. And first of all, I'd really like to sincerely thank the Belgian presidency, the whole team with whom we've organized together this meeting, and also very pleased about the outcome of the meeting, namely strong engagement during the meeting. We had delegations from 58 countries in the end, plus also the international organizations. So I think it already was a big achievement. Because it's really now, after the COVID, that now the people can come together, the delegations can come together, and also in such a format which is not very common. So really bringing together the EU member states, the countries associated to our program, but also these countries with whom we have science and technology agreements. So we already covered a lot of ground globally, I would say. And certainly this, the Brussels statement is open also for additional countries to join in, because I'd like also to use the words that the Dutch minister used this morning, that value of science is universal. That's why also the discussion about the values and principles is something which is universal. And as our commissioner referred to now the statement as a moral compass, so this is something really that is driving us also into the future. Now, Ambassador, as you mentioned, we started this process already in 2022. First with the Commission communication on a global approach to international collaboration on research and innovation. Then there was European Ministerial Conference, which was held under the French presidency of the Council in March 2020. And after that, we really launched this multilateral dialogue. You already mentioned the areas of workshops that we've covered. But I think what has been really valuable in this process is that it has been totally inclusive. So it's not just been the Commission driving it or the presidency, member states, but really there have been the volunteers for different workshops. So we really co-created and co-chaired them. As we've seen today, in today's world of polarization, it was also mentioned with the Russian aggression of war against Ukraine. We really need to bring together the countries who share the values and principles. And in this world, the academic freedom, research security, but also security of researchers have become more topical than ever. And that's why we really need to find common understanding of the environment and a common understanding of the principles and values. It has never been something that we'd like to impose European values on the others, but really to see the common ground. There could be also the different approaches, but certainly having this dialogue, bringing together the actors globally has really been valuable in this process. And now looking ahead, as the statement also mentions the roadmap for the future direction, this is also the process that we'd like to be as inclusive as possible. Really to collaborate with everybody who have been part of the process, not only the countries, but also the international organizations. You mentioned the OECD, UNESCO, but also International Science Council, as well as key European stakeholder organizations who have been active in this process. So we are really looking forward of continuing this collaboration on the basis of the Brussels statement. So many thanks again for the excellent collaboration, and in case there are questions, so we will be happy to take those as well. Thanks.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you for the floor. I just had one question. Is for the future steps of this long-term process, what kind of outcome do you expect? Can it take some more formal shape, or?
Now, as I mentioned, what is stated in the statement is really the roadmap towards the future. And I think, and this came also clear on the basis of the discussions today and the statements by different delegations, that certainly this is a kind of moving target. We know what are really the key principles which continue to be key as open science, gender equality, academic freedom, research ethics and integrity. But certainly these are also in development in different countries, and certainly we need to take that on board as well. And as I said, that we'd like this the process to be as inclusive as possible. So it will also depend on what are basically the requests or the asks, where the different players also see the advantage of moving together. So there is nothing is fixed for the time being, but we'd really like to continue to collaborate on this excellent basis that we've achieved, because already this kind of partnership between all these countries and organizations that have been part of this process gives us a good platform to continue.
There's a word in the ministerial statement which we haven't mentioned so far, so the sustainability of the multilateral dialogue. Sustainability means not just on the principles, not just keeping in mind the principles. It also means that the work that we are about to do and to engage on, needs to be coherent and sustainable. So I think, even though that for the moment is still a principle, I think it is a clear ministerial commitment as well.
Indeed. Okay, if that's it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
and thanks everybody for making it a real success. Thank you.
Thank you.